I remember watching one of your videos. You talked a little bit about like creating boundaries and like setting boundaries around books. And
Yeah.
I also think there's a level of creating boundaries as a creator, because as you become more forward facing, people think they understand you more and they think they can, say whatever to you. So I'm curious how you kind of set those boundaries between like obviously being a creator and then also when it comes to setting boundaries about around books and all that.
Yeah, so I feel like most recently I've been trying my best to allow space for criticism, which has been a little bit hard. Like there's definitely a lot of experts who've been a part of the industry way longer than I have. So that's probably been the hardest part, is just being okay with some of those criticisms coming in and not taking it quite so personally. So I guess that's more of like an inner or like an interior boundary that I have with myself, of like they're not attacking my character, they're just maybe going after what I said in that particular context, which, maybe was misleading in some kind of way. So at least with myself, I try to allow some of that space and flexibility with my own mindset to be told that I'm wrong about something. And then if people are attacking me and my character or something, I just don't engage with it. I really don't get too many of those, but every once in a while someone will try to be, all huffy about something, and I'm just like, well, that's okay. Maybe you're not the intended audience, and that's okay.
Yeah, it goes back to it. Like you can only please so many people. And it again, you got as a content creator, you gotta make the content you want to make
Yeah.
because it comes through more authentic that way. Like people really appreciate it when it says, okay, Lauren made this type of content versus if you're just
Exactly.
doing it for clicks or because someone told you to do it this way the next time. So I think that all plays into being a content creator for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely, don't want to act like I am the right one. My
Yeah.
word is the one and only one. But yeah, for sure.
How do you blend your writing with your content in the sense of when you're about to go make a video, are you scripting it all out? Or how do you balance your skills in those different ways?
So what I used to do, not so long ago when I was trying to figure out what I'm doing, I used to write blogs first about whatever it was that I was, curious to talk more about or whatever. I would write the blog, and then at the time I would use the blog as like a really loose script for the video. And then, once the video was made, I could just pop it into the blog, and it'd be kind of, similar in structure and format. I think that there were a little too many words on the page for me to always keep my thoughts organized, as you can probably imagine. So usually what I'll do is I'll of course create some kind of loose script. And if there's any specific articles or like news stories that I use, I always try to link those in. If there's any, particular excerpts that I feel like are especially important to call out or to highlight to either start a new point or to validate one that I'm making, I definitely like explicitly pull those out and include them in my script. And then once I have a video kind of based around that, I'll also kind of create a loose blog, using the stuff that I already have and keep linking those two together. But I'm still trying to figure out my structure, if I'm being totally honest, but there's always almost some kind of loose script that's happening. It's never pretty, but it works for me in the way that my brain works.
Well, yeah, that's the cool thing about being a creator, an artist. Like you're always improving the craft. You're always learning something new, a little bit. You see someone else do something that's unique, and it doesn't even have to be in the book space. It can be somewhere completely different, but it
Right.
sparks an idea or a video concept, and you get better over time. It's the same thing with writing. So like, yeah, when it comes to your writing, what's your like writing process generally? If you're gonna write a book or if you're gonna write a blog, I know it's gonna be slightly different, but how do you think about when it comes to writing in that sense?
I think with blogs especially, I'll usually like I'll have like 10,000 thoughts in my brain all at once. And I almost try to, filter through which ones are the most important or the ones that need to be said the most in order to make a particular point or to, establish a particular sort of perspective or approach. So I'll basically, loosely throw stuff on paper that I'm like, this has to be there, this has to be there, this has to be there, just almost kind of like a brain dump. And then from there, I'll kind of filter through it and organize it and, pull articles and excerpts and things, that kind of support those things. Cause I don't want it to be all about just, me and my own opinions. Like those are great every once in a while, but, I
Right.
also want to bring in other industry experts or, consumers or people who used to work in publishing or something like that. So there's a more of a comprehensive kind of scope. So usually it starts bare bones and then I'll kind of, fill it in with layers of different, resources and things. Um, with books, I've only written one, and that was a whole journey. But basically, I used a lot of journal entries to inform the stories in that one because there was no internet in Yellowstone. So I was constantly journaling. And I think I wrote, I don't know, at least a few days a week. So thankfully, for specific moments in the book, I was able to reflect back or, pull out some of those journals and see specifically what I said about a particular moment in time. And that was really, really helpful for not just the structure, but also like micro, particular experiences, or smells or, scenery or something.
Yeah. Like I was saying, you're literally on site, so you get to see a little bit of everything. You get to bring it into the world. That's really cool. If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookumapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.